Hello, I'm Jenny Hall for Trinity Stamps. Thank you for spending time with us today. Trinity Stamps specializes in wonderful and whimsical stamps products, but we really also have a wonderful line of Slimline products. We have Slimline sized stamps that are tall or really wide. We have Slimline stencils and Slimline cover plate die. Today I will be creating 3 different backgrounds to share with you. Here is a look at the woodsy background stamp. It's wonderful for all occasion cards. This is Tall Tales stamp set, and as you can see, that giraffe is really tall, perfect for a Slimline card. And here is a sneak peek at a product that will release on October 23rd. This is the Tree of Lights stencils. Let's start out with the woodsy background stamp. This is a long or tall stamp set depending on which direction that you want to orient your card. It is created to fit a Slimline card which measures 8.5 by 3.5 after it is folded and scored. I'm going to start out by placing a panel that is cut to fit exactly to a Slimline card and adhere it inside my MISTI. This can also be done by simply putting the stamp directly onto your work surface. Because it's a sticky stamp, it should stay in place on something like a glass mat, and then you can ink the stamp and place your cardstock on top of it, or simply put it inside the original sized MISTI and it will stamp beautifully. I'm using some inks to use a tone-on-tone look. I'm adding some ink blending with a brown ink that is the same ink that I stamped the image in, and I'm going to kind of highlight or create some low lights for the knots that are on this tree or this piece of wood. This type of stamp lends itself very nicely for spring projects where you could create flowers and maybe a beautiful flower wood scene. You could also use this type of stamp for winter, summer, or autumn. Today I am going to go for an autumn look, and I'm sharing exactly how I created the background with you. Once I've inked up that panel, I'm going to adhere it to a side folding card base with some tape runner. This is a really simple way to create a background that has loads of interest and can feature in many different card projects. With this stamp set, there are also some images that you can stamp and die cut. There are mushrooms, leaves, an acorn. They're so cute. I've already used colored pencils off screen to save time, and will feature them all over the card. The great thing about using this type of stamp set is that we can pair other stamps with them. Here is a stamp set called A Sentiment for Almost Everything, which I have already stamped with embossing ink and white embossed onto some black cardstock. Once adhered, they will just nestle in nicely, and now I can have a Thanksgiving or an all-occasion thinking of you card. I included the Happy Thanksgiving sentiment, and that makes it a Thanksgiving card. But this was such an easy card, and I really like the look of the wood. It lends itself very well to masculine cards as well. Moving on, we're going to share another Slimline stamp set and a Slimline cover plate die. This is the Tall Tales stamp set and is adorable. But what I really like is the Quilted cover plate die. This Slimline cover plate die has a cutting edge on all four sides, plus small piercers to leave an impression in the paper. Once this die cuts away the cardstock, it is the perfect size pre-cut to go right onto a Slimline card. Today I would like to show you exactly how I like to use this die and give it just a little step up to give some ink blending for a customized look. As you notice the color going onto the paper, those pierced lines appear darker. The ink is being grabbed by the paper where the piercing marks are, and this is going to enhance the look and really let that die's purpose shine. For this project, I wanted to get just kind of an ombre look and use that background to feature on the middle. The highlighted area is in the middle of the giraffe and a stack of books. Using inks to enhance a background is a really fun and easy way to create a Slimline card. Once I have inked up all of the areas, then I'm going to use a water bottle to spritz that ink and pick up the water droplets with a cloth. This is going to create just a little bit of interest, and so we will have our piercing marks and the water droplets. After that is completely dried, I'm going to adhere it to a side folding Slimline card base. Now we are ready to feature some images. Off camera, I have already colored the giraffe and the stack of books and this adorable little owl. I've trimmed off a portion of the giraffe so that I can have all of the images fit side by side. These images are officially Slimline stamps, but they can easily be featured on an A2 card as well. Just simply stamp, color, and die cut your images, and then crop them down to a manageable size to fit onto a standard A2 sized card. For the sentiment, I used from another stamp set in the Trinity Stamps product line that says Kindness Matters, and used a coordinating die to die cut it into a little banner. Now I'm placing some Trinity embellishments around the card, and there we have two Slimline products in one project. So much fun. Moving on, we're going to get a sneak peek of the Tree of Lights stencil set. This is a layering stencil set that will be available in our holiday release on October the 23rd, 2020. I've used a separate die to cut a panel away. This is our stitched scallop Slimline die, and I'm using some post-it tape in order to mask off where the stitched line is separated from the scalloped area. Here you can see what they look like when the stencils are placed one over the other, and I'm pointing to the etched information that which one is supposed to be stencil number 1 and stencil number 2. Although having used this product, I can say it's okay to use them in any order that works best for you. I also have used just one of the stencils and gotten a really fun look with just one stencil. Of course, you can cut a piece of cardstock into a long triangle and simply do a little bit of ink blending and then use the stencils and adhere that to a slimline card base. But I thought, why not show you just a little bit more of what you can do with the stencils and coordinate them with some more Trinity products. I'm using some inks and I'm just creating that long triangle look of a Christmas tree. If you notice, I keep bringing the stencil over to make sure that my eye is getting enough of the area green. I've used a few greens and a black to enhance because I want this area to be really deep and rich in color so that the stenciled area will show up. I want this particular project to really shine and feel like it's special. So I'm creating a Christmas night sky around our tree, and it's going to have the look of a glow. I'm bringing light blue ink around that area, and we'll follow up with a medium tone blue and then a darker blue. Because the ink is coming right up to the green but not overlapping it, there's a lighter area that's going to appear as if it were glowing. I'm going to also bring that black right back over and go around the edges and have it really, really stand out and have a high contrast. Because I masked off the scalloped area between the stitches and the scallop edge, now when I peel back all of this Post-it tape, it's going to really have a dramatic contrast of color. That's one thing I really love about using stencils, and Trinity Stamps stencils are always so fun to use. Let's give this a mist of water just to get a few of those little water droplets interest. And then once this is dry, we will be able to bring our stencil over to the paper. Here's what it will look like whenever we use stencil A with some ink blended areas. I'm using a Distress Oxide and an ink blending brush to just add some very simple stenciled circles. This would be a great place to stop and finish off your card. One layer is perfectly fine. Let's have a look of what it would look like with 2 layers when we use the A and the B. I'm lining everything up with the bottom and with the point of the stencil, making sure it stays within the area of the tree. And this time, instead of ink blending, let's see how the stencil works with some embossing paste. The stencil holds up really nicely and takes well to embossing paste. This is also going to give me just a little bit of a different look than the ink blending area did. This is going to have a little bit of texture, and it's going to have much more sparkle than the ink blended area. But I like the option to be able to, whatever my time allows for my crafting, I can use whichever method works. And I love the reveal. And because that Post-it tape masked away, we have a perfect polished outside edge. This type of a card does not need a card base. Once it's dry, you could simply turn it over and write your holiday message on the back. This will fit in perfectly to a slimline envelope, and you can mail it and have less bulk. Because there is a beautiful star included in the stencils, then I'm using that same embossing paste in order to add a star for the top of the tree. For the greeting on this card, I used another Trinity product. This is the Merry Christmas dies. I've stacked 3 die cuts on top of each other and adhered them together with liquid glue. The very top die cut is colored with a Copic marker that matches the project. This is a really easy way to use a die in order to customize your project. I made sure to save one of the little dots for the eye. I did not attempt to stack those up 3 high, but I made sure to save one on a scrap of Post-it tape so that it can look like it's spelled correctly. And now I'm going to adhere the top portion. So this card says Merry Christmas. It has a raised greeting, and it already contains loads of shine. See, that paste is just so shiny. As I said, you could send this exactly as it is. You could sit down and make a whole stack of cards in nothing flat. Here are the 3 projects that we created today. I hope you were inspired to create a slimline card and use a slimline stamp set, cover plate die, or stencil. Here are a few additional projects using Trinity Stamps line of Slimline products. As you can see, many standard size products will fit great onto a Slimline card, either portrait or landscape. As a show special, just for today, we are offering 20% off from October 20th through 22nd with the code 20OFF-SLIMLINE at trinitystamps.com. We hope you've enjoyed spending time with us today, as we certainly have enjoyed spending time with you. Have a great day.
Hi, this is Dave with Rubbernecker, and thanks for joining us today. we've got a couple fun things to show you. So we'll let a couple people gather in here and we'll get started. Okay, this is our new fall Slimline background. It's a rubber stamp and it's nothing but fall iconic images all in one. And we've used a special technique called Joseph's coat to pop some of those things up and make a card for you. So let me show you how we started off with that. It's an interesting color the paper, stamp, emboss, and then color that image again. And it's a process, but it's a lot of fun. And if you don't mind a little detailed brushwork with a marker, you spend a nice 30 to 45 minutes without thinking about the troubles of the world. So the first thing I do is I want to know where I put my inks on my page. So I'm going to take the Slimline block I'm going to use for this, which is a 4x9 block that we have, and I'm going to mark it out on a piece of paper. I've got 4 color fuse inks here. So I've got crimson from the red set, apricot from our orange set, grass from the green yellow set, and autumn from the yellow set. And I'm going to do these in an order like that, starting with the darkest and moving to the lightest, because that will allow me to use the lighter color autumn to kind of blend the edges of the other ones. It's much easier to blend the dark using the light than the other way around. So I just use the circular motion right direct to paper. You can use a brush to transfer the color. You can use one of the Ranger blending tools to do this with. I'm just impatient. And this is much faster to get rich, vibrant colors. And that's what I wanted, was the richness of the color. Yeah, if it's too light, the black overpowers it, or in this case, the brown overpowers it. I just recently did this with our Halloween stamp as well, and used the black. On this one, we use brown because it's more fitting with a fall theme. And so now you can see I'm using the autumn yellow color, and it will soften and blend in those edges just a little bit. But because you've used so much ink here, this is going to need to sit to dry. If you choose to use a heat gun on this to dry it, there's so much ink in the paper that you'll warp your paper severely. So if you leave it alone while it dries, you'll keep your paper nice and flat. And the heating up when you emboss it will not affect it very much. It'll curl it, but it won't irregularly warp it. And we're going to let this dry, hit it with an embossing buddy. And we're going to use gold embossing to do this and make a real statement with our stamp. So that's the embossing buddy that you would use, but certainly not while it's still wet. I just wanted to show it to you. Let's set that aside. We'll pull one out that we've already done. That way the embossing came out correct. Cheating a little bit, but I've been known to miss an embossing spot. So you can see how the colors just kind of float underneath the image now. So I'm going to take a brown marker that has a nice soft brush point, and I'm going to just color off everything that I don't want. And I've already done this a couple times in preparation for doing it on camera. So I've decided what I want to color, and I kind of get a feel for where the images are and what's next to each other. The first couple times I did it, I wasn't paying too much attention and colored right over an image that was next to something that I wanted to leave the color coming through for. So make a plan, and it'll work out much better. The color will set on top of the embossing, for a bit, but then it slowly just kind of fades off. And I noticed with the gold embossing, I didn't have to do any blotting whatsoever or wiping. When I was done, the gold was shining through. That will depend on the intensity of your markers. These Arteza markers that I'm using are not too rich in color. They're an inexpensive internet marker. And so that's probably the reason why it didn't hold to the embossing material. So checking that ahead of time and knowing what your result's going to be will help you plan in doing this. And I did not attempt to use a Copic marker on this at all because it was a water-based bottom, but with it being completely dry, the Copics might work. Once again, test that theory before you spend the time to do something that isn't going to work. So we got those leaves going, and we're going to highlight the sunflower peeking out there. We'll just do a little bit of this, and we'll revert back to the original that's already finished. I always do a gentle line of the color along the outside edge so that if I'm off a little bit when I cut this away from its background, I have protection. The brush marker helps you get into all the little nooks and crannies that a nib marker wouldn't. And so there's the final one that we're going to use. We've taken a little phrase from one of our stamp sets. It's the Splendor of Autumn. It was from the 3019 Autumn Leaves clear set. So we're going to do the same thing again, and I'm just going to use our blue set. I'm going to use 3 of the colors from our blue set, not the darkest one. And I'm just going to work the edge of these across. You can see my mistake right away. I went back and forth, go in one direction. That way you won't have a buildup of ink at each end. And I'm just slowly adding the colors to raise the level so I get the gradation I want from dark to light going down. And I will eventually use the lightest one to blend. And then I'm going to take a little drop of liquid platinum from the liquid metals from the Color Burst line and drop it into a mini mister and give it a little bit of a spritz so that we've got some sparkle to it. And it's going to stipple the color because it is water-based and it's still wet. And that little bit of moisture helps to blend the color just that much more. We'll do a quick dry, but not much because I don't want the paper warping on me. Just enough so it's not wet anymore, but the ink is still drying, but the water spray is not, and that's fine. So we're first going to use 5326, our Slimline nested stitch set, to cut that piece of paper out to the size we want. It cuts, the largest one cuts out a 3x8 space. So we've done that, and then we're going to go, and we're also going to cut out a piece of white paper to do the same thing so they'll match. Then I've got the Slimline insert. That's a little window insert, and we've cut out the piece of white paper and put the other piece behind it. We've got a Merry Christmas stamp in the middle, Merry Christmas from all your gnomies. And we put 3 of our little gnomes inside. And we embellish the side 2 flaps with little greenery and holly berries from the Winter's Bouquet set. So these are our Slimline backgrounds that we have so far. And there are 4 of them. We have coffee and tea on its way. And there will be more this fall for spring events. So we have Christmas and fall and Halloween. I'm sorry, the first one was birthday and Christmas. So from your right to your left. So we're going to use the Christmas one in all its glory. I did not color these. This is done by one of our design team members who is an expert with Copics, and I could not even get close to this kind of quality. But if you have that skill, then you can do amazing things. Here's the Halloween I talked about earlier. A lot of great Halloween, some friendly and not so friendly icons. It's the fall set, which you just saw us do in the Joseph's coat technique. And here it is, just all colored up. And finally, the bright and festive birthday. So you can see there's a lot of possibilities with these 4 stamps. And we have had somebody custom make stamp blocks for us to fit these guys so that you've got those ready to go if you're interested. So let's take the Christmas one, and we're going to use our large and small Merry Christmas sentiment set. It's a set with about 20 different stamps. Each one is a repeat in large and small. We're going to use that nested stitch set and the Slimline insert set to make our window card. And we'll embellish it with a little Christmas icon set. I'm going to use the little Christmas tree off of that. It fits right inside of it. And we'll put that behind it. And we'll use this little guy. So we've pre-done that. We've cut that out. We've got our Christmas background behind it. We're going to put a phrase on the front of it. And then I'll show you how we cut out a couple of those little Christmas trees. It's a VersaFine Claire Nocturne pad. Gives me a beautiful black stamp. So I pre-cut our little Christmas icon set with all the colors I'm going to use, and so I'll gather those along here. We'll use a Christmas tree on either of those two side panels. Pop out two of everything. It's like Noah's Ark. And Kitty Crazziolo, who is our resident paper design expert, I'm sure when she sees this will chuckle. Dave is actually doing a die cut. It's so far out of my wheelhouse, it's not even funny. And I realized I took on one of the smallest little pieces I could possibly have done. And my 70-year-old hands don't have the dexterity they used to. So it's going to be an interesting process here to see if I can do this. So now I've got these three pieces for the Christmas tree, and I'm thinking to myself, am I supposed to layer these a little bit or just stack them next to each other? So I'm going to stack them next to each other. But as soon as I do that, I realize that it probably should be just layered just a bit. I'm not really sure how they were designed to go, but it's not looking too bad. I might not be wrong. I'm sure Kitty will let me know that I am. Not that she's one of those that says I told you so, but because she's not. And we got three little dots that go on to simulate ornaments. Very cute little, simple little thing. It's something, once again, that's difficult to do with just one piece of paper. We like our die cuts to be a little bit more complex than the average die cut company. Lots of little pieces. If you've ever purchased our train and tried to put that together, there is an instruction sheet on the website, and you'll know that you needed it because there's so many pieces that you need to have instruction to do it. But with those instructions, it's very easy. So it looks like I'm going to get away with getting this done without making any egregious mistakes. That doesn't happen very often. We have a cute little simple card on the outside, space inside for a much larger sentiment. And when you pop open the windows, you see all the excitement of Christmas. Kind of like a mini advent calendar. My grandson Owen would say, how come it isn't Star Wars inside? That's all I want for Christmas. Or Super Mario. I hope you've enjoyed these.
Hello everybody, this is Els from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Welcome at the Slimline card event. As you can see, I made quite a few already. I'm very passionate about it these days because it's fun to make. And of course you still make your regular size cards, but the Slimlines for now, you know, I really enjoy making them. Before I go any further, show you samples and actually make a card, show you different techniques. The discount code for this event. So if you go to the Elizabeth Craft Designs website, use the code EXPO20 at checkout, you get 20% discount on everything, also on the sale items. And there's some really interesting products in the sales section as well, so make sure to check that out. The sale starts today and it ends Sunday the 25th. So, first of all, the base for these cards, all the cards that I made here, is our soft finish cardstock. I'm going to use that when I'm going to color as well. So make sure to check this out. If you didn't use that yet, our soft finish cardstock, we have it in two weights. Make sure to check it out because it is beautiful cardstock. It has a texture to it. If you didn't use it yet, just you know, put one pack in your cart and check, and you know, just try because you will absolutely love it for coloring, and it's just a very beautiful cardstock to start with. So I used a heavy weight for the base of my cards, and the rest is mostly the lighter weight. If you just want to try one pack, I would suggest to take the lighter weight because if you die cut something, you want to use that lighter weight cardstock. So I'm going to show you these cards and then I'm going to start making my project. So like this is from Suzanne Cannon. So the Christmas cards, we have Suzanne Cannon. She has the beautiful calligraphy. So that is her design. Those are her designs. And all these cards that I'm showing you, you can also find already on the Elizabeth Craft Designs YouTube channel because we put all our Facebook lives on YouTube as well. And these are the ones I made during the lives on Elizabeth Craft Designs already. So make sure to check those out. So all the techniques you see here, you can find them all online already. So this is, and I just make a mat. So my Slimline cards are 8.5 by 3.25. I know a lot of people make them 3.5. That's also fine, of course. And then I make a mat on all of them. Also soft finish cardstock. A lot of times I put some foam tape underneath there to kind of layer it a little bit. I rough it a little bit, the edges with my distresser, with this little tool. And then you have a beautiful mat on your cards. So then I have this one. So that's all Suzanne Cannon as well. This one, the candle. Gorgeous, isn't it? So that's just a gold cardstock from Tim Holtz. And most of the things I do here, of course, have double-sided adhesive. The Elizabeth Craft Designs double-sided adhesive on the back of the things I cut out here. This is the adorable Santa from Josette, the border here. So I combined Josette's designs here with the calligraphy from Suzanne. And here you have another one. You see also that same border that you just saw, just different, you see. So here I used it in white. Here I backed it with a, so also white of course, and backed it with a decorated paper. Here I have the snowflake, one of the snowflakes from Josette, cut it in half. Also the Merry Christmas, added some glitter dots from Elizabeth Craft Designs. And then here I have, let me show you this. This is two cards with the same design, you see. So that's the same snowflake set. There's actually a smaller one in there as well. But this is the large, middle, and there's a small one. That's also from Josette. And then you see that Merry Christmas script. We actually have in a larger one and in a smaller one. So this is all the Tim Holtz cardstock, gold and silver, backed with the clear double-sided adhesive. And then here I have one using our Planner Essentials line. The paper is from the Planner Essentials and the border here that you see. And how I do this, that's all on our Facebook page or YouTube channel as well. Then I have some like more standing up cards here. So I use our florals. I'm going to use florals today as well, but a different one. And that gorgeous ornament you see here, that is just a very popular die, backed with our wood paper, the worn wood. And then I have this one with the strawberries. That is from the Planner Essentials as well, because the Planner Essentials size is basically the same height as the cards. So that is perfect. So a lot of those elements you can use to make slimline cards as well. And I added the strawberries, and then inside It has this, so some paper, and this can be a really nice invitation for a dinner. I thought that would be fun. So I love that whisk. So great for the Slimline cards. Then I have a few other ones here with florals and some glitter leaves. And again, all these, so I created all these during Facebook Live as well. So make sure to check it out. So here I stenciled a little bit. I made my own glitter paste. And then here you have the leaves. I show you how to do that because I have some embossing powder on there. And I think I showed how to do that in the last expo video as well. And here I have another one using the Planner Essentials. So this again is a page from the Planner Essentials. The same as this one. It's also a page from the Planner Essentials. You see, so lots and lots of possibilities. Here I have the ginkgo leaves. I love that. Of course, you can put that sideways as well. But I created it like this. And then here you have some with the ornaments from your sets. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring in my station, the Make Art Station from Wendy, Veggie from Ranger. I love that one. So I'm going to bring in my items. And this is the color that, the card I'm going to make. And I have some like a flower ready already, but I'm going to show you the whole process. It's, you know, it's super easy to do. I have my inks here. And I just got that station, and I have to say I love it. And I know the ruler now is kind of underneath the logo. So it comes with a magnetic ruler. And I just love it. So you can line it up, but it's great for inking as well. And then these magnets, the magnets you have are actually covered in metal and foam. So that is super easy to use. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to make the flower. I'm going to show you how I make the leaves. And then I'm going to show you what I did creating the cards. So the flower I used is this one. It is called Florals number, let me see. Florals number 4. It's number 1776. And we called our flowers all florals because we want you to make anything you like. So I don't want you to tell it it's a rose, or I don't want you to tell it it's a hydrangea. You can make it anything you want. And you can mix and match the different leaves, the different flowers. Just love to play with those. So Florals 4. And then I'm going to use the insert piece of this die set, and that's a very popular one. I'm going to hold it this way because it's large. So that's a pocket. That is actually the butterfly pocket insert 1782. So it comes with 3 butterfly wings. It comes with a tag, it comes with that insert, and that's the one I'm using today. And then it comes with all kind of words, but those words with the loose letters also make a full alphabet. So let me show you this one. So this is the box I have. So all the letters are in there. Yeah, so very, very fun set to use. And then last but not least, from our floral collection, the berry branch. So that is this one. And that is number 1778. And then I make all little bags with all kind of prepped berry branches already. I put some drops on it. I work with glitter, but I'm going to use these ones today. And you see, I cut those berry branches out of a soft finish cardstock as well and color that. So that is the berry branch. And before I start, I want to show you some other things that you can do with that same die, with that insert. I kind of prepped some samples here. So here I did the insert and then use vellum on the back. It's actually really pretty. And I just took this part. Let me show you, see, and I put it this way and then this way, and then you have a beautiful insert. I also backed it with our double-sided adhesive. So I took a piece of cardstock with the tape on top and backed it on the back there, and then sprinkled our glitter in there. That is a great technique, of course. Then I have one that is backed with wood paper, with a worn wood. And this is actually the one I'm going to use today. So I have the vellum one here, and that's the one I'm using. And then I want to show you that same die. So here I made a tag, you see, because we're using that insert, but the die by itself is really nice. So that's the insert. Here I have the 2 folded ones, like folded together, and these are actually pages to fit in our traveler's notebook or the journal, but in this case I just made it into a card. So this one, I have the Merry Christmas in there, And this one, I put the same floral, you see, as I used here on there. And then I also have the butterfly wing here. And in this one, I actually have a gift card. You see, I put a gift card on the back. So it's a really nice one to use for a present as well. And then last but not least, the 2 cards here. And I just wanted to share that because that's the same floral. So I want to show you that it looks beautiful on other size cards as well. And here you see that same butterfly wing. You see, so that's all the same floral. So all floral set number 4. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you the coloring. So this one, and I always have the idea that I need to really hurry because time flies. 20 minutes really flies. So I'm using the crackled campfire, the crackling campfire. I have to say I absolutely love that color. I know a lot of you will have it already. That's the new color from Ranger from Tim, but it is really, really nice. So just your felt, soft finish cardstock, and I use that plate now here with a little craft sheet on it and my magnets, and you just make a circular motion. You kind of hold your felt in an angle a little bit, and this one is going to be a little bit lighter, but if you want to have it darker, you just go in a little bit. I go in holding my felt in an angle. So you just do this, and then you go around, and you can do that with all the colors here. And I will color 1 leaf as well. And then I'm going to put my card together first, and if I have time left, I will put the flower together. But last time I know I was going to make actually a slimline card, and I didn't end up not making a slimline card because time goes so fast. You see, so here I have my flower, so I have a little bit less ink. Oh, that's actually the other one. So I have a little bit less ink on these ones. Oh, here I have my lids. So that's that one. And for the leaves, I use the crushed olive, some peeled paint, and some vintage photo. So basically you do the same. So you just ink. Oh, I have red fingers probably. I didn't clean my fingers. So you just go in with your ink, and then you can add some brown as well. And let me do that. And then I will add some craft drops, and that's how I make the shine on the leaves in this case. So just some coloring, and then my vintage photo just for the sides. Like that, you see. And then what I'm doing then is I'll take my craft drops, and I'm shaping this as well, but I will show you that with the flowers. But you just take some craft drops, put it in the center. Then I take a little bit of water with a flat brush, and you just brush it out like that. And that's how I get my shiny leaves. And I have those there already done. So clean my brush. So what I will do, I will put this aside and then start putting my cards together. If I have time left, I will show you the shaping as well. But basically I use a small mat and a teaspoon. And again, you can find all that on my Facebook page as well, on the Elizabeth Craft Designs Facebook page or YouTube channel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this card. I will put it like this. And then here I have my cards and a piece of vellum. So let me put this away and make sure my white cardstock doesn't get dirty, of course. So here I did a cutout, and here you see I did it the other way around. So here I have it sideways, and here I have it up and down. So you can change that, of course. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take our thinnest double-sided adhesive and put it on the back. So this is the 3 millimeters. I need to find the beginning. And then I'm going to stick that here. And if you use the 3 mil, it works perfectly because I can stay away from the pattern, because you don't want to have it on the pattern, of course. So this one. And then here a piece of tape. And then you put your vellum on there, and then we can put it on the card. The card I have here, I added some foam tape as well, so you can also put it a little bit higher. And all the tape is back in stock. So all the sizes are back in stock. So this one, then you take your vellum and just put it on there. And then I'm going to do my second layer of tape. And I'm using the wider, oh no, the same one, sorry, otherwise the vellum shows through, of course. You don't want that. So again, I will just do 2 lines. There we go, and then put it on the card. And again, if you want, you can also cut small pieces of foam tape. You see, I love that vellum behind it. And if you put foam tape behind it, it's kind of nice because then you see the vellum more. Oh, this one I actually did not do vellum. On the one I showed you, I did vellum. This is just like open and then raise with some foam tape. And here I have the vellum now underneath there. And then I can build my card. So I already put the flower together and I'm going to build my card first. And then again, if I have time left, I will show some shaping. But again, that's all. You can find it all on social media as well. Okay, and I have some leaves. So these are the leaves when they dry. I will bring them up a bit, you see. So that's when you put that the craft drops over there. So this is the transparent one. And I'm going to take some of our kids glue, and I have some rose hips here that come in the same set. And I'm going to take some of our kids choice glue. I have that, and that's a little bit heavier glue. So basically what you do, oh sorry, I put some here and only in the center, because then you can start building. I'm going to put this one, this one I have offset a little bit. This one I'm going to put in the center because I like how the pattern is coming in there, how I cut that pattern. And then with the leaves, you just add a little bit of glue on the back. So not the whole leaf, just in the center, because if you do it just in the center, it's easy to add the berries and the rose hips as well. See, I'm going to do another one here. So I'm going to do this one with 3 leaves. You see, so you can kind of build your own scenery. And I love, and you see that color, that crackling campfire, it's really, really pretty. And then I'm going to add these. And with these ones as well, I just add a little bit of glue on the stem because I want to kind of have it standing up a little bit. And let me see if this one is too big for here. I'm going to cut it in 2 pieces. That's what I do with the berry branch the whole time. I cut it. That's just, you know, then you have so much to play with. This one I want to have sticking out on this side. You know, it's so much fun just to build those cards. It's so much fun. I love playing with our florals. So again, 20% discount on everything. Also on our sales item on the Elizabeth Craft Designs website. Using code EXPO20 and it runs till Sunday the 25th. And I don't think I get to the shaping. So for the shaping and for all the other techniques, go to Elizabeth Craft Designs, either YouTube channel or Facebook group. And if you look at all the videos, we do 3 videos a week on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And lots of techniques in there. And the shaping of the flowers, it is super easy. So this is the card. And let me put this aside for a second because I have a little bit of time left. So I can actually show you a little bit of the shaping. Here we go. So basically what you do, you take a teaspoon. And if you have tools, of course, that's fine. But if not, you take your teaspoon, you just push it on your mat. And that's what I do to shape my flowers. And that's what I do to shape my leaves, you see. And that's it. And then with the leaves, you do the same. This is, yeah, it's dry. And I actually color, a lot of times I color my flowers and the leaves on the back as well. So just a teaspoon and just kind of make some lines in there. You see, and then you have your leaf to use. So that's it. Time is up already. So again, Elizabeth Craft Designs website, 20% discount on anything you buy using code EXPO20 and it ends the 25th, Sunday the 25th. So thank you all for watching and I hope to see you again at the next event. Bye bye.